If you want high quality scientific research on the carnivore diet, I got some bad news for you. A new study I'm going to tell you about from Harvard University isn't it, but you might want the details anyway, because anyone from meat lovers and people on TikTok may be talking about it. And if you're not well informed, you can get the wrong idea, depending on who exactly is doing the talking. I'm looking at you folks on TikTok. My name is Jeremy Cologne, and this is The Dark Side of Fitness, Episode 7. How the study worked. The researchers conducted an online survey of more than 2,000 people who say they follow a carnivore diet. For those that don't know, the carnivore diet is an eating style that focuses on eating meat, well, mostly meat, animal organs too, which are packed with nutrients, just in case you didn't know. Versions of this diet have been around for years. One of the earliest modern references dates back to 1856 when a German writer published a book about the virtues of eating only animals. More recently, all meat diets have been popularized by Dr. Sean Baker, an athlete and orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Paul Saladino, a psychiatrist, and Jordan Peterson, a psychologist. Carnivore variations range from super strict meats and organs only to iterations that include fish and other types of seafoods, eggs, animal fats, suet, lard, and tallow, small amounts of full-fat, low-lactose dairy, and small amounts of certain fruits and vegetables. So back to the study. The 2,000 people said they followed a carnivore diet for an average of 14 months. They were 67% male with a median age of 44 years old. The scientists asked the participants about what foods they ate, medical conditions and medications, current health and well-being, how much they weighed, and other anthropometric data, what their blood work looked like, how satisfied they were with the diet, how supported they felt socially, and changes they noticed since starting a carnivore diet, such as weight loss or adverse effects, and so on. You get the picture from this. What the study found. I'm going to give you the results first and then tell you why this isn't great data. To be honest, it's not even good data, so make sure you stick with me for a little bit. The scientists crunched all the numbers and they provided the median value for several metrics. Median value is a list of numbers sorted from lowest to highest or vice versa. The median value is the middle number, so if your data set is 1, 2, 3, then 2 would be the median value. That works for an odd number of values, 3, 5, 7, 9 for example, but obviously doesn't work for an even number of values, like if the number were 10. In that case, you average the two middle numbers to get the median numbers. So to be clear, these aren't averages. That's because when there are a lot of outliers or extreme results, researchers often look at the median value as it's likely to provide a better picture of what the data really shows. So the results. This is a bit long-winded, so bear with me. LDL cholesterol and total cholesterol were markedly elevated, with LDL increasing by 46 points on the diet and total cholesterol increasing by 47 points. Only about a quarter of the respondents provided this type of data. HDL cholesterol and triglycerides were in the optimal range. HDL cholesterol increased by 10 points on the diet, which is a positive outcome, and triglycerides decreased by 10 points. Triglycerides were in a normal range prior to starting the diet. Almost half of the participants say they had been at one time classified as obese or overweight. Of those folks, 52% said their obesity overweight was resolved. Another 41% said it improved. Most of the others, 5%, said it was unchanged. The median weight loss was 9 kilograms, about 19.8 pounds. Participants reported their pre-diet weight and current weight. The median weight loss for people with diabetes, about 13% of participants, was 13 kilograms, about 28.6 pounds. This included both people with type 2 diabetes and type 1 diabetes, with the majority, 71%, being those with type 2. Participants reported high levels of overall satisfaction with the diet. Most said following the diet had no impact on their social life, and that friends and family were either neutral or supportive of it. About a third perceived their medical provider to be unsupportive, while another third thought that their provider was supportive. So details you don't want to miss. This sounds pretty intriguing, right? A scientific study that shows people lose lots of weight on a carnivore diet, enjoy what they eat, and even improve HDL cholesterol, a major risk factor for heart disease. If folks just hear that, a lot of them would be like, all right, cool, sign me up, I'm so down. Of course, one downside is that LDL cholesterol, also a major risk factor for heart disease, ballooned by nearly 50 points. And this is despite the participants reporting significant weight loss. Weight loss has been shown to decrease LDL cholesterol. Advocates of the carnivore diet often wave off concerns about increased LDL levels, insisting that the medical community has been wrong about LDL and you don't actually need to worry about it. Actually, that's not a pretty weak argument. Why? Because it's not consistent with what we know from a huge body of evidence. Some argue minimizing the effect on LDL is a way for people to justify a diet they like, or perhaps even profit from. Even if we suspend our disbelief for a moment, the data I just presented, though interesting, isn't strong. In fact, when it comes to science, it's about as low quality as it gets. Here's why. The participants were recruited from open social media communities. For instance, 23% came from a Facebook group called World Carnivore Tribe. Another 7% came from the Reddit group r/0carb, which is a tightly moderated subreddit for carnivores, people who eat only foods from animal kingdom. Plus, there was just 2 inclusion criteria. They had to be at least 18. They had to say they've been following a carnivore diet for at least 6 months. Can you see the issue here? By default, these were people who, by and large, already liked the diet and had likely gotten good results from it. What's more, all the data was self-reported by the participants, meaning the people in the study told the researchers how much weight they lost, how their blood work looked, and so on. That makes it highly subjective to both inaccuracy and bias. The upshot, the findings don't tell the full story. To be fair though, that wasn't the intention of this study. The scientists were trying to learn more about the carnivore diet, and this was a reasonable starting point. They're quite aware of the limitations of this study. They discussed them in their published paper and are misrepresenting the scope of this research. But we're emphasizing these limitations for a simple reason. Some people on the interwebs, in the gym, at your cousin's house might use this data as quote-unquote proof the carnivore diet is a superior way to eat or that it's highly effective for all people. That's not all what the study shows. On the positive side, this data does suggest that some people may experience very good weight loss results from the carnivore diet. Here are some coaching takeaways. Number 1, overall, these results aren't surprising. We know people can have weight loss success on any diet they follow consistently, and that seems to have been the case for many of these study participants. Number 2, don't try to talk people out of a new diet. Even if you think it won't work, instead, listen with curiosity and express interest. And number 3, show support no matter what. Regardless of what they do, it's best to let people know that you're on their side. So, my thoughts. And this pretty much goes across the board on anything we do. Social media should never be the determining factor for what and why we do things, right? If you're a person who goes on TikTok, if you're someone who goes on Instagram, and you see said person posting pictures of their progress or their weight loss journey or just kind of flexing or just showing their body whatsoever, right? And they promote a certain lifestyle or a certain diet or their book or whatever, I would be very cautious. I'd be very cautious in the sense that what they did or had to do to get to that certain point is not going to be what gets you to where you need to be, right? And the same goes for the carnivore diet and TikTokers and people. Even this study, right? This study was completely biased. It was completely anecdotal. It was subjective in the sense that these are people who are already pro-carnivore diet, who you wouldn't be able to tell them anything. Same goes for people who are keto, vegan, the list goes on. You can't tell them anything because Again, their lifestyle, what they had to do, brought them joy, happiness, or etc. That myself, or the person who's watching this video, even you can't tell them anything, right? But the one size fits all routine for living a healthy lifestyle, even working out, doesn't work at all. Doesn't work at all at the end of the day. You can't fight research. You can't fight what works for other people. Our bodies are different for everybody, right? And a diet or lifestyle doesn't mean that if you do it or not is a deal breaker or not, right? Following a carnivore diet, in my opinion, my professional opinion, doesn't equate to you being healthier, stronger, mobile, less stressed, kind of whatever the case is, right? I'm more on the health practitioner side of making sure that you're balanced, that you're feeling stronger, you're feeling better, you're mobile, you're doing things you're not able to do, right? You can eat the things that you want to do. Obviously, with allergies, things can change, but for the most part, you can live a normal human life. You know, eating meat products and organs all the time, yeah, I don't know about that, right? You know, I feel like anything else, it works for certain people. People get to do what they want to do by doing a certain way, and I feel like it doesn't work for everybody, right? So, like anything else, and I mentioned this in previous videos, one size fits all diet doesn't work, right? But don't fall in the trends of because it's hot, because people are talking about it, because a bodybuilder is promoting the products and it's a carnivore, theme, or whatever the case is, or a group of people, or a subreddit group, or kind of whatever, right? Wherever you get your sources from and where you're hearing this information, you have to really consistently do what works for you. What's gonna make you feel better overall? What's gonna make you feel stronger? What's gonna make you feel better? Some diet or trend is gonna get you. Don't get me wrong. Any diet will help you lose weight, but at the end of the day, what's next after you reach those goals? What's next after you become lighter, you lost 20, 30 pounds? And a diet like that is not going to be the thing that's going to be the long-term thing for you. It's not going to be sustainable whatsoever. So always choose wisely. Always do your research, but always follow your gut, your intuition, and always ask yourself, if I do this, will this make my life better or miserable? Or will it stop me from doing the things that I want to do? So thank you again for watching this video. As always, for those who watch it, I appreciate your support. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts below, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.